This is the Simulation Football League Semifinals, presented by Football Shipped on YouTube. With a ticket to the SFL Championship in Cincinnati on the line, two heavyweights enter the Stockyards. In the visitors' corner, it's the four-time defending and five-time all-time champions, the Baltimore Vultures, who have been in this situation before. Two of their five titles have come with wins against number one seeds in semifinal games, where their experience lead them on. And in the home corner, it's the unbeaten and unperturbed Fort Worth Toros. This Toros squad leaves no survivors. If their offense won't stampede you into submission, watch out for their horns. Their defense has created the most turnovers and has given up the least amount of points this season. Will they continue their charge to the finals? It's Destiny versus Dynasty right here on Semifinal Sunday. Good evening, folks. I'm Tyler Falk alongside Camera Duty here in the booth. Eddie Gage, Ron Haynes, and Rochelle Colston on stats, and the Commissioner Cameron Irvine in production. We welcome all of you to the Stockyards here in Fort Worth, Texas. We are glad you could join us. I hope you strap yourselves in. We'll get to Camera Duty here in a second. Baltimore's going to defend the north side of the stadium, and that's where they'll kick off from, the home team Toros. They're wearing their white tops, red bottoms. Fort Worth and they're all blues. It's semi-final time with a trip to Cincinnati on the line, as here we go! Back deep to return near his own goal line. Out comes Charlie Baker, who tries to make a man miss near side and hurdles a man up to the 28-yard line, and that is where Fort Worth will start their opening possession as I welcome in Mr. Cameron Duty, who jumps in here for SFL Semifinal Sunday. Welcome, Cameron Duty. Let's talk about this Toros offense, shall we?
Yes, sir, Tyler. Good to be with you, my friend. Yeah, this offense, we know all about them. Heavy hitters. They haven't went down yet this season. A lot of it coming in that dangerous backfield. They're a great all-around team. Let's see what they've got on their first possession, my friend.
They are led under center by Marcus Dunhill, who already has an SFL title under his belt with the Atlanta Swarm, and he's taken the handoff over to Jay-Z Bacon, and he's taken down by Alvin Mack. Let's introduce you to the rest of that Toro offense. Jay-Z Bacon and Aaron Alexander are the halfback and fullback respectively, with Stephen Hacker, Charlie Baker, and Cade Stevens at wideout. At tight end, it's Robert Garrett Jr. and Rochelle Johnson, and on the line, it's Emilio Panda and Frank Burks. Delayed handoff up the middle. Again looking for Bacon. No yards this time as Walker brings him down.
And Tyler, that's going to be one of the things, the key highlights that we are going to look for in today's game. This offense of Fort Worth, will they be able to move the football with ease as they have in the past? Or is Baltimore going to find a way to come up and really lock things down? 3rd and 8 already, off to a good start for the D.
3rd and medium. Dunhill on the move, left side. He takes off and runs with it, finds a hole, and Marcus Dunhill slides down well and truly for a first down for the Toros.
Such a nice play, my goodness. And that right there, as you said, he is a previous champion of the Simulation Football League, and you can tell with that experience right there, not wanting to take a shot downfield, hopefully, try to stay out of harm's way passing. So he just tucks the ball under him, and he goes running, and a great job seeing the field there and getting just enough safely for the first down.
A gain of 13 on the scamper from Dunhill. He's back to pass here on first down, and it's picked off! A deflection and diving attempt from Elijah Warfield pulls it in, and Baltimore take over.
Well, how about that? You've got the great run right there by Dunhill just a moment ago that extended this drive. And take a look at this. This really just great defense, of course, right there by Baltimore, getting up, interfering with that pass, and then the great interception right there. A really nice job by Troy Loshaw and company there to deflect that one. And all of a sudden, Baltimore is in business. And you talk about deflating a team's morale. That'll do it quicker than anything.
So here comes Jack Wigmore under center for Baltimore as they begin their drive in pretty good field position. Screen pass, near side. That finds T-Roy Gaines with blockers in front of him, and he picks up a solid gain of 9 on the play.
You talk about Warfield and and the folks there on the defensive side making big plays. Well, you take a look at this offense and T-Roy Gaines, the two-headed monster of T-Roy Gaines and Warren Murray, and just what they both can do and how well they work together. Obviously, they've got a spotlight on them tonight, too.
Our eye up the middle. It's Gaines again. He puts a man to the turf with a stiff arm and is finally taken down across midfield into Fort Worth territory.
I had an opportunity to speak earlier with Stephen Hacker there regarding their game plan, and it was very simple. In the rushing game, do not allow T-Roy or Warren to shrug off many tackles. Get them down as quick as possible.
Stephen Hacker, one of the co-owners of the Fort Worth Toros. They hand off this time to Warren Murray, who gets a nice gain of about 6 before he's gang tackled. And let's meet the rest of the Baltimore offense. Of course, we mentioned Warren Murray, the halfback, and the fullback T-Roy Gaines as well. Wide receivers are Ivory Irvin, Daley Holder, Mac Chima, and David Anderson. Tight ends are Caesar Ackerman and Jackson Roberts. And on the line, it's Olivia Bleeker, Alden Bleeker, Don Johnson, Jay Arnold, and Ray Arnold. 2nd and 4 now as they come out in another heavy eye. But this time, the Toros defense, the best rushing defense in the regular season. They come up with a stop behind the line, led by J.L. Browning.
Yeah, great job by J.L. Browning right there. That's exactly what Stephen Hacker was talking about earlier today. Get them down quick. Don't allow them to continue to churn those legs and fight out of tackles. Just good, solid tackles, wrap-up tackles. That's what Fort Worth needs, and that was done to perfection.
Wigmore looking right side, fits it in nicely near the 30-yard line to Mac Chima. That's another first down. One Texas team down, 1 to go, says J.L. Balmer with the $4.99 super chat here on YouTube. And of course, that was Florida, who punched their ticket to Cincinnati by taking down the Alamo City Artillery. But that's a nice pass from Wigmore to Chima meanwhile.
Oh, it's a nice pass for sure, Tyler. One of the things that makes this team so dangerous, I know it's obvious, we all know it here in the room watching this game, but the fact is they are so versatile. The running, that's their bread and butter, but Wigmore can go through the air too and really demoralize your efforts on defense.
Quick drop, and that one's nearly taken away. Again, looking for Chima on the outside. Great coverage there from Nash.
Yeah, a great job by Nash. Good coverage right there. And, of course, that's one of the things with these wayward passes like that. Just try to secure it, bring it in. Obviously, a good swat there to bring it to an incompletion. But interceptions, turnovers could be the name of the game today. We've already saw one.
5-step drop, unloading, and it's jarred free. Aiden Davis, the corner, lays the lumber on Ivory Irvin, and the ball falls incomplete.
Really good pursuit by Aiden Davis right there. Just a great job of getting back to the football and knocking that one out of the receiver's hands. So the first big test of the game right here for Baltimore against this stern defense.
And we very rarely see Baltimore in these 3rd and long situations. Will the defense for the Toros be able to capitalize? Rollout, near side, throwing across his body, and he connects with Daley Holder for a first down inside the 15.
Take your pick. Mac Chima, David Anderson, Ivory Irvin, or in this case right here, as we said, number 87, Daley Holder. Wigmore has plenty of weapons. And as we said, we're talking about it actually in last week's broadcast against Arizona. This team never does seem to really get rattled no matter the situation. Calm under pressure for sure.
It's the experience that this team has gone through in the last 6 seasons. Champions, 5 of the 6. And Warren Murray, the warhorse, keeps his legs churning for a first and goal down to the 4-yard line.
And you and I were talking before the game. It was something, the two-headed tandem right here. If for some reason, T-Roy is stopped in the backfield or can't get anything going, you've got Warren Murray, or vice versa. It's very difficult to stop a team that has 2 versatile running backs and in this case as well, fullbacks who can not only block, but they can get out in space and make some big things happen.
Toros hacking the box as the Vultures go with a heavy look, and they try and cut it outside with T-Roy, but here's E.K. Vincent, the middle linebacker, to stop him.
Yeah, a good job by E.K. Vincent. Again, it's that pursuit right there that we've talked about, that Fort Worth has talked about, just continuing to pursue and stop the play in its track. Don't let the play extend. in the ground, or on the ground, or in the air, excuse me.
Another heavy look. They stretch it outside. Murray
Oh.
gets out of one, but here's the lumber again from E.K. Vincent, and that'll knock him backwards about a couple yards, maybe.
We don't have to tell anybody on this football field what they're playing for and what's at stake, and they are coming out playing hot today. Great job, great pursuit again by Vincent there. The entire defense, third down. Wow.
Another third down here on the drive. They try and go up the middle with no fullback, and maybe that's why the defense got to him again. A fantastic goal line stand. Another tackle from Vincent, and it's 4th and goal.
E.K. Vincent making it a three-peat right there, going to force Shark Tarkington there on the field goal attempt, and that's almost like a victory there for Fort Worth, really.
Here is the field goal attempt from Shark Tarkington. It is up and good, and the Vultures will take the lead, and they will get 3 points after the interception. And it's 3-0 Baltimore. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at Simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button to begin your career, or just to meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It is never too late to get involved. Charlie Baker on the return for the Toros. It's a decent return all the way up to the 31-yard line. That is where the Toros will take over after their opening drive ended in an INT. They're looking to change their fortunes on drive number 2.
And I really feel like their defense bailed them out in a big way to hold this Baltimore offense right there on the goal line to just 3 points. That says a lot. It says a lot about your defense, but it also says a lot about really just how good overall this team is. And this is an opportunity for the offense to get back out there and really redeem themselves. It's a lot different being down 3 as opposed to being down 7 against the Vultures.
The Vultures defense took a 13-play drive and took 4 minutes and just about 30 seconds off of the clock. The Toros are going to need a long drive themselves. Here with 4:11 to go in the first quarter. Handoff, Bacon through the middle, and he keeps going forward. 3 defenders have to drag him down after a pickup of 7.
Jay-Z Bacon, we know what he did last week. 44 carries, 311 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Key to this game, obviously, for Fort Worth, it goes without saying, but it's just to get him involved and open up the run lanes, and then the passing lanes will surely follow.
Baltimore putting a bunch of men in the box. They originally had 10 in there, but one flips outside to guard the wideout, and they try now more of a power run near side with Bacon, and Bacon is folded up after a pickup of 2.
A great job right there. Alvin Mack coming in on the stop. Great pursuit. You had 56 there of Vincent for Fort Worth making tackles on the run game there for their defense, and now turn around number 56, Alvin Mack for Baltimore, stepping in as well and stuffing the run. Good stuff.
Another heavy look out of the Fort Worth offense. A lot less defenders in the middle area of the field, and Bacon will capitalize as he breaks off a couple tackles for the first down and a few extra yards to boot.
Really nice job right there by Bacon. Again, take a look at this replay. Good job by the offensive line. Gets him just enough. He kind of makes himself a little smaller there, getting through that tight window, and he's through the hole and onto the first down. So a good job of this rushing game now. Starting to get warmed up a little bit. Of course, they really didn't have an opportunity on the prior series, but we'll see what they can do here.
Another fresh set of downs here for the Toros. This one will start from their own 48. Bacon again on the give, up the middle, and he will gain about 3.5 yards on the carry as we introduce you to the Baltimore defense. Al Walker, Suron Yates IV, Ralph Leopold, Nate Brown, and Joe Duncan are the linemen, with Alvin Mack, Frank Smith, and Keenan Samuels the linebackers. Elijah Warfield, Enzo Bolt, Ben Stackenpaper, and Marvin Himes are the corners, with Giovanni Bolt and Troy Loshaw at safety. 2nd and 7 as Stephen Hacker goes in motion from top of your picture down to the bottom of your screen. Dunhill looks to throw, pumps once, and is sacked by Nate Brown, who loves to serve up sacks all season long. He gets one here in the semifinals.
Yeah, Big Nate Brown, a great job right there. As you said, all season long we have called his name, and a good job once again of coming in and putting the sack right there on Marcus Dunhill. Held that football just a little bit too long, and you could see what happened. What the end result was, the pass defense was really getting to him.
I say all season long. He had no sacks during the regular season. That's his first one here in the semifinals, at least, maybe in the postseason. Pitter over the middle, caught near the line to gain. Charlie Baker hauls it in on the pretty in route, but Ben Stacking Paper for now denies him the first down.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, his first sack, he has been all around the football all year. Oh, and Fort Worth here is challenging.
And this is going to be a close one as Luis Gonzalez throws the challenge flag. And so we will take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console at GoRetroid.com.
Take a look at this replay. And yeah, really, to my eyes, without question, I think that should be a first down right there already. Well,
this is very tight. I don't see any clear discernible evidence. Again, that yellow line is imaginary. Here's the call.
Yeah.
And so the call is not overturned, which means the Toros will lose one of their 3 timeouts. And I think in a crucial game like this, Cameron, you have to take a chance. It was close. Now, if you're going to do the same thing, your offense has to come back on the field and try and make something happen.
Yeah, I agree. And like you say, it kind of makes you wonder, are they going to just try to draw them off sides, or are they really going to go with it here on 4th and inches? I think you need to make a statement for sure.
4th and inches. They go with a run up the middle. The fullback can't get it done. Aaron Alexander is stopped behind the line. It's another turnover. This one of the on downs variety.
Wow, take a look at that. Yeah, got trapped behind his blocker there, tried to push the pile, and it just wasn't enough. They tried to change things up a little bit, actually, instead of giving it to Bacon, tried to go with the fullback there, Alexander, and wow, how about that? This could be a key play as this game goes on. We may have to refer back to.
So here comes the Baltimore offense on first down after the turnover on downs, and they quickly hit Ivory Irvin across midfield, and that's another first down for the Vulture offense.
He had that great offensive series that looked like it was starting to take shape for Fort Worth there, and then they get the big stop there Baltimore does on defense. They get the ball back to their team, and right to the air goes Wigmore, doing what he does best. So consistent, one of the most consistent quarterbacks in the league, obviously. Protects the football well. And so you kind of expect that out of him when it comes to their time to take the field.
Now from Fort Worth's 45-yard line, Wigmore will look to throw again. 5-man rush, has to get rid of it. Finds his tight end, Caesar Ackerman, at the 30. A gain of 15 for the Vultures.
You know, we were talking about it, and we have said it all year long. The weapons that Jack Wigmore has at his disposal right here. Caesar Ackerman, just another one of them. Really a good job right there, getting up, squaring off with the defender there, and then making a little move to get to the inside and continue his route. And again, good job of Wigmore there, just kind of placing that football to where only Ackerman could get it.
I'll give him all the way up to the 28-yard line now. 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. Wigmore to throw right side. There's Irvin again, turning upfield and stepping out of bounds near the 8-yard line. 1st and goal, Baltimore.
And you just feel the momentum, shift so drastically when Fort Worth could not convert there on that 4th down. And Baltimore felt it too. It's almost like they were lit a fire under them. Of course, not that they really needed any assistance, but that certainly helped. And they've come out guns blazing here on this following series.
20 seconds to go in the first quarter of play here from the Stockyards in Fort Worth, Texas. Handoff near side. Murray, nothing doing. E.K. Vincent there on another stop. He has been busy trying to tackle both Murray and Gaines early in this game. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter. 3-0 Baltimore here in Texas for a chance to go to the 21st SFL Championship game. 3-0 your score. on Semifinal Sunday here on SFL YouTube. Welcome back to Stockyards Stadium here in Fort Worth, Texas. Tyler Falk and camera duty on the call. Eddie Gage, Ron Haynes, and Rochelle Colston on stats tonight with Cameron Irvine, the SFL commissioner, our producer. We welcome you to the second semifinal game here in season 21 here of the SFL. Wigmore hands off left side for T-Roy Gaines, and he cannot escape the tackle. It's a goal line fortress here for the Toros.
Sunny Sky right there. She did a great job, great pursuit from behind to come up with that big-time tackle. And again, 3rd and goal here. We know what happened the last time they got down here. They were relegated to a field goal attempt. Let's see what they can draw up this time.
Punch set, far side, Wigmore over the middle. It's deflected away by Aiden Davis. They are unable again in a goal line stand to put 6 on the board. The Toros defense will relent maybe 3.
Absolutely. Bend but don't break. Yeah, they get down there to that goal line where they are so very good at punching it in all year long. However, this Fort Worth defense continues to rise up, and a good job of Aiden Davis. We've called his name a couple of times already today. Huge deflection right there.
So Tarkington has already made one from 19 from the right hash. This time it'll be 5 yards back, 24-yard attempt from the left hash. Snap spot, kick is up, and it is good. 6-0. Vultures over the Toros after a 2-minute 7-play drive.
And again, like you said, you have to consider another victory there for the for the Fort Worth defense. Baltimore, though, of course, putting up 2 field goals. That's great. But for this Fort Worth offense, their defense continuing to bail them out and give them some life here.
The kick is off again. Charlie Baker about 3 yards deep in his own end zone. He will try to make another good return as he angles right side and tries to sneak through some of the tacklers. It's been a good day returning for him. That's unfortunately the worst of the 3 up to the 26-yard line, but still a solid return all told.
Oh, yeah, definitely. A nice job, nice solid returns. That is so important. Set your team up with good field position, especially against a team like this where every yard counts, and it's so difficult to advance down the field. A good return certainly helps in that regard.
This Fort Worth offense, looking back at the first quarter, looking to try and forget and move on. They're only down by 6 after an interception and a turnover on downs. Can they make something off of it? Quick hitter near side as the blitz was coming, and here comes Jay-Z Bacon spinning around 1 and getting tackled at the 49-yard line. That is how you answer back on the first play of a drive.
Beautiful play call right there by the offensive coordinator for Fort Worth, and that nice little screen pass that works really well for them. And of course, you see the speed that Bacon has when he gets out in the open field.
23 yards on the swing pass. Another quick hitter and a double coverage. Cannot connect with Stephen Hacker as Enzo Bolt was there in coverage.
Nice job right there. Enzo Bolt there on coverage, of course. 6'1", 195. All 4 of his SFL seasons have been played with Baltimore, so he knows that position well and does a great job.
Toros so far tonight, 2 of 3 on 3rd downs. They go back to throw. Dunhill is smacked again. Second sack of the ball game for the Baltimore defense, and this time it's Joe Duncan who comes up with the sack.
Unguarded. Let's also mention that. Come right around that edge, and they just never seen him. It looked like by the time that the fullback there was, Jay-Z Bacon was able to pick up and try to throw a block, it was too late. He was already in the backfield and really put all 270 pounds there on that quarterback.
That'll bring up 3rd and long here for the Toros. Empty backfield here for Dunhill as he goes under center. Another blitz coming. Dunhill unloads over the middle. It hits the helmet of Giovanni Bolts. The ball will hit the turf, and the Toros will have to punt.
Just as much as we've talked about Fort Worth doing some really impressive defensive stands there along the goal line, let's give credit to this Baltimore offense who now have been able to stop Fort Worth from advancing. There's been an interception, a turnover on 4th down, and now they get them off the field on 3rd and long.
Back deep to return is Ivory Irvin here for Baltimore. He will call for a fair catch at the 23-yard line. And this is where Baltimore will take over. 2 drives, 2 field goals. They have the lead, but you're looking maybe to punch it into the end zone maybe once if you're Baltimore here, Cameron.
Yeah, definitely. Still looking to unlock that combination that gets it into the end zone. Something we haven't seen very much of that Baltimore has struggled with.
Start with a stretch to the left-hand side, and Warren Murray is only going to get 3 yards.
And again, E.K. Vinson, I mean, really just doing a wonderful job in this game thus far. Again, great job on the rush for sure, especially just doing a nice job of pursuit there and bringing down the runner.
Try and run again this time with T-Roy Gaines, and his run fares a little better. He gets it all the way up to 2 yards shy of the sticks.
Yeah, they kind of bounced it out to the right side there instead of going to the left, which they like to do pretty traditionally. And that did fare, as you said, a little bit better. But wow, take a look at that stat already. 7 tackles for Vincent, all coming in the rushing game so far.
Another run, 3rd in a row, and this time, T-Roy taken down from behind. J.L. Browning. These linebackers were going to be busy tonight, and maybe for the first time, they forced the offense off the field.
Yep, a great response right there by Fort Worth's defense and stopping them well short of the red zone this time, and just a great job right there of standing up and taking a stand there for your defense. Great job.
And so Matty Coffins with the boot. It's a beautiful punt all the way back to the 20-yard line, and Charlie Baker gets 10 on the return up to the 30-yard line. And so they flip the field on the punt, and that's why you pay your punter.
That's exactly right. I mean, so valuable right there. Take a look at the hang time, of course, and by the time it finally drops, he doesn't have a lot of room to run, right?
Absolutely. So here it comes. The Toros offense had to punt it away last time. Still have a donut in their points column, courtesy potentially of a Joe Duncan sack. There's some coffee-related humor in there if you didn't catch that. Offset eye behind Dunhill, and he'll give it to Bacon, and he is 8 up in the backfield. No gain.
Now, again, a nice job. Baltimore's done a wonderful job of literally sniffing out that run game that Fort Worth is so good at, just not allowing them to move the ball at ease, honestly, which is something, as we've said with J.Z. Bacon, hasn't had much trouble doing up to this point.
Pitch play near side for Bacon, and this time he's able to get maybe a yard, and he's taken down by Keenan Samuels.
Forcing them again into another 3rd and long situation. Obviously not what Fort Worth likes to see. If you're going into 3rd down, you want to see something shorter than that. So again, that kind of narrows the playbook a little bit, and they've got to send everybody out here.
5-step drop on 3rd down. Dunhill with time, pumps once, still time, loads and overthrows his intended target, looking for Cade Stevens. And it'll be another punt for Fort Worth.
Yeah, and again, another good job of this Baltimore defense. They're not able to punch it into the end zone as we are so familiar with them being able to do, but instead their defense comes up and totally shuts down this offense. So defense getting it done today in just the best of ways.
Another punt as Baltimore try to get to it in a hurry. Another fair catch called by Irvin, this time at his own 44-yard line. That is where Baltimore will take over. While the first half we saw Baltimore march down the field and kick some field goals, this second quarter in general, partner, we've seen no scoring.
No, a great defensive match right now between these two. Maybe something we didn't expect. I think at least I did, expect to see a little more high flying, but but nothing yet. That may come later. Both defenses are honed in right now.
Two wide receivers top of your screen, no corners in view. Instead, they go with a run near side. Murray tries to shake and bake, but this excellent tackling defense gets to him again. Delaney Nash with the stop.
Yeah, a beautiful job, and you can tell, as I said, Stephen Hackert earlier in the game, for Fort Worth, he said that was the play call, that was the responsibility, that was the highlight of practice this week, was to wrap up tackles. Don't let them gain an inch, stop them in their tracks.
Pass middle and somehow Wigmore floats it over the defender's head for Mac Chima. First down, Vultures.
And again, as I said, I think the word, it's demoralizing, or it's just disheartening, let's put it that way, what this Baltimore offense can do, because it really seems like you've got them kind of bottled up or kind of in a corner, and then they come out swinging with a pass play like that. Wigmore's so good at that, finding the open receiver when it matters the most.
And here goes Murray as he gets out of a tackle and gains a few extra yards, one of his better runs of the night. We close in the halfway point of the second quarter.
And it's one thing that's worth pointing out is that how consistent they are being with giving the football to Murray so far this first half. Tyler, to be honest with you, sometimes we'll see it kind of go in the direction, maybe one running back will get more carries than the other, but they've kind of distributed the ball pretty well so far in this game.
Go to T-Roy now, near side. Delaney Nash trying to hold him back. But the big, beefy fullback rolls over for another first down.
Delaney Nash did everything, humanly possible to keep T-Roy behind the line. But just those big churning legs, man, so hard to bring down, especially in a short yardage situation like that.
Pitch play near side in the direction of the bunch as Murray is shouldered hard. A massive shoulder check for the game's leading tackler, E.K. Vincent. That's his 8th tackle now.
Really making a case for Defensive Player of the Night, no doubt. Just a great job today, and he knows what's at stake, playing with a lot of passion.
Offensive line shifts to the outside, expecting something there, and they try and go that way with T-Roy. Bulldozes through one. E.K. Vincent can't take him down, and T-Roy is out of bounds near the 16-yard line. First down, Vultures.
Nobody can hit that truck stick like T-Roy Gaines. Watch this right here. I mean, he's so good at that, bouncing off a block, and as we have said, just gets harder to take down, continues to gain speed as the play continues. So that's the first real characteristic T-Roy Gaines play that we have seen tonight.
Passing play now, looking middle, open as Irvin, he hauls it in at the 5, and it's first and goal, Baltimore.
Ivory Irvin right there with a great route, and Wigmore with a really nice job of locating him on the field. As we take a look there at the replay, of course, take a look at that. A nice job, a nice team right there just to deliver that pass, and was able to get that one in before Aiden Davis made it to the tackle.
Now they come into a power I. This has been a sore spot for Baltimore tonight. 2 red zone trips, 2 field goals, no touchdowns. Third time lucky, maybe handoff. T-Roy through the middle and maybe gets to about the 3-yard line as Nash brings him down.
Yeah, again, Delaney Nash, as we said, just really doing a good job trying to stand up that rushing attack in its tracks there, and it's a tough thing to do. Got the better of him that time.
Another I formation here for Baltimore. They try and stretch it out left side. T-Roy, one man to beat. Shoulder dives in. Touchdown, Vultures, and they take a 2-score lead.
It is so hard to stop T-Roy Gaines when he gets around the outside, and we'll see it on that replay there. Just a nice job of kicking it out to the right side, and then look at that stiff arm right there. I mean, literally just run the defender into the ground right there. That was Sunny Sky. She was trying to bring him down behind the goal line, but nevertheless, Baltimore taking a 2-score lead here. Wow.
A solid drive for Baltimore. 9 plays, 57 yards in total, and the extra point is up and good. 13-zip after a 3-minute, 13-second drive. And the Baltimore Vultures are looking to do 3 of 3. 2 of their 5 SFL championships have come with wins in semifinal games against number 1 seeds. They're looking to make the Fort Worth Toros their 3rd victim here tonight as the kickoff goes back deep for Charlie Baker. He will take a knee in the end zone, and that is where the Fort Worth Toros will start their next drive on their own 20-yard line. They have nothing to show for what has to be said. Their defense is trying to keep them in this game. The offense hasn't rewarded them.
No offensive production to this point. Now, this game is not out of reach, and we know Fort Worth has the capabilities to claw their way back into it, but they got to start here.
5-man rush, pass right side. That's a nice catch, and breaking out of it. Here comes Stephen Hacker across the 50-yard line. And these first plays from scrimmage for the Toros have worked wonders, but they just need to continue this momentum.
That's exactly right. They just need to follow through on what's happening, straight out of the gate. They've done a really good job with that. And to take a look at Hacker with this great route, nice job shaking a tackle, and he just about got out of this tackle right here by Giovanni Bolt. As you can tell, he just about stayed on his feet. But again, that may be the spark that they need. We're heading down to 2 minutes left in this first half, and you really want to hold this football and not let Baltimore get it another time. They need an extended drive here and put some points up.
Closing in on the 2-minute warning, handoff up the middle. Bacon is turned around after picking up 2 yards. He's brought down up the middle by the linebacker. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Here in the Stockyards, can the Toros get some points and make a game of this? It's 13-0 Baltimore here from Texas. You're watching Semifinal Sunday on SFL YouTube. Liking the game so far, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There is no one else that gives you more football. And the pass is caught! Stephen Hacker lays out for that one. He looked like a center fielder diving for a fly ball, and he comes up with a football.
Tell me how. Take a look at this. He literally went around the defender right there. Ben stacking paper. Thought he had him completely locked up, wrapped up, tighter than a sandwich and saran wrap, okay? But, I mean, take a look at how he busted around the outside there and extended out for that reception. Man, that's the best analogy I had, Tyler. I'm sorry. But, man, that was a great play.
Another blitz coming. Dunhill with pressure behind him. He throws middle. That one is also caught. Cade Stevens moves the Toros into the red zone for the first time tonight.
And now we are seeing life. Just what we wanted to see out of this offense. We just raised the question, can they continue what Hacker, that great reception that he had early on this series, could they continue? So far, so good. Dunhill looking much more comfortable in the pocket as well.
First and 10 now from the 14. Split backfield behind Marcus Dunhill. 1:07 to go. They will run with Bacon through the middle. Keenan Samuels alongside Troy Losha brings him down, and the Toros will call their second timeout. As a reminder, they lost their first timeout due to a challenge that was not overturned.
That's exactly right, and that was the closest of margins as well on that challenge. And unfortunately, that is one of the things that comes with that. When you lose that challenge, you lose a valuable timeout.
Dunhill alone in the gun. He's got the fullback, Aaron Alexander, in motion at the tight end spot now. Four-man rush, pass right side, caught Cade Stevens! Touchdown! Toros, and they're on the board with under a minute to go in the first half.
Making a great statement right there. What a great response. Finally, some life by this offense. And, they needed that. They didn't need to settle for a field goal. They needed the touchdown to try to keep pace. Look at this route right here on stacking paper, turning around, coming back to the football. And really, Dunhill did a great job there just delivering that pass and having confidence that his receiver, Stevens, was going to be able to come back around for it.
A quick 6-play, 80-yard drive, which results in a touchdown for the Toros. Extra point from Amelia Rose is up and good. 13-7 for the Toros. They take a minute 45 off the clock. And now can the defense hold and keep it a one-score game? They will have to kick it to Baltimore to begin the second half. And so here we go. Irvin on the return. Check that. Irvin stays aside for a little bit. It's Daly Holder now doing the returning in the meantime. And he gets the return up to the 34-yard line. The Toros defense gave up a touchdown on the last drive, but before that they forced a punt. Will they be able to contend with this 2-minute drill offense from Baltimore, Cameron?
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how aggressive Baltimore will come out here. I would imagine that they're going to try to use all 55 seconds up to try to get into some sort of scoring range, at least take a couple shots. And here's the thing about Baltimore, Tyler. They can do a lot with 55 seconds. They can move the ball fast.
And they have all 3 of their timeouts. 2 tight ends near side of the formation. Wigmore under center. Blitz coming from the Toros. Quick hitter near side for Warren Murray. He's going to try and get outside Delaney Nash, who wraps him up and brings him down after a gain of 8. No timeout, no hurry, no hustle at the moment from the Vultures.
No, really interesting look here. As you said, not calling a timeout and really looking kind of calm and collected coming up to the huddle. No hurry at all.
Offset I, 2nd and 2. It looks like Baltimore may be content with just a 1-score advantage as T-Roy Gaines is upended behind the line by Jerry D. Gond.
Yeah, a great job by Jerry D. Gond right there. 6'5", 325 pounds, and he just unloaded on T-Roy.
3rd and 3 now. This potentially the final play of the half. 7 seconds to go. They're in a power I. They are going to run it up the middle with T-Roy, and Gond brings him down short of the line to gain, and that will bring matters to a close for the moment here, at least in the half. 13-7. Baltimore out in front on the road, looking to go to their 5th straight title game in as many seasons, and their 6th in 7 seasons. The only thing standing in their way is the unbeaten Toros, who find themselves at the short end of the stick here, partner. Walk us through what happened in the first half and what needs to happen in half number 2.
Yes, sir. Well, the complexion completely changed at the end of that first half there, with Fort Worth finally able to get on the board. The Vultures, really, for the most part, they have been contained. Yeah, they've got on the board, as you see with T-Roy Gaines, they're going in for the touchdown. But other than that, 2 field goals. And, not a very characteristic offense by either team, just considering the amount of points and yards they can put up on the board. It's been a defensive juggernaut. And going into the second half, it's going to be interesting to see if they kind of turn the reins loose a little bit here. Baltimore gets the ball coming out of the halftime break. Will we see them go a little more high-flying, a little more up-tempo? I'm expecting some more passing game in this second half. I could be wrong, but I just think you'll see these 2 teams kind of cut it a little bit more loose as we go into the second half, Tyler.
As we welcome you back to Stockyards Stadium here in Fort Worth, Texas, Tyler Falk alongside Cameron Duty here in the booth. Eddie Gage, Ron Haynes, and Rochelle Colston are doing a terrific job in the stats truck, and alongside producer Cameron Irvine back at studios. We welcome you back for half number 2 of the second semifinal game here in season 21, as the opening kickoff of the half goes out of the back of the end zone, and so Baltimore will start their first drive of the second half from their own 20-yard line.
It could have very well been one of the reasons, Tyler, why they decided to not be so aggressive on that last series heading into the halftime break. They get the ball right back. Now we'll see what they come out with.
Split backfield, they're going to run. Linebackers on a blitz. Quick hitter over the middle is caught for a gain of 18 for Mac Chima.
Right out of the gate, Wigmore finds him in a seam right down the middle. and a great job by Mac Chima with this reception right here. A nice job of getting in between the coverage there and finding a nice space for Wigmore to throw that football.
So here comes play number 2 of the drive. Wigmore looking right side again. It's Ivory Irvin on the run to the 45-yard line of the Toros. And rather quickly, this Baltimore offense, looking at their last drive of the first half, it's night and day difference. They are coming out with a whole lot of gas.
Definitely. It's amazing just how much yardage that this team can eat up in such a short amount of time, and we're seeing it happen again. Now, if you're Fort Worth right here, make the adjustments you need to get back to locking this team down. You don't want this drive to go any bit further. You've got to try to keep them out of scoring distance if you want to have a chance to claw back in it.
One set near side. T-Roy on the give. He looks to try and push his way forward and gains 8 on the play.
And see, this is where Baltimore is so good, is that, you know, they don't spend too long doing one thing or another, if that makes sense. They may lull you to sleep with a couple of consecutive pass plays or consecutive run plays, but just as soon as they think you're getting comfortable protecting one type of play, they go right back to the other, and that's what happened there. Some quick strikes to the air, then they gave it back to T-Roy.
We got a quick look at T-Roy's numbers, and throughout the regular season, he was averaging over 6 yards a carry. Tonight, just about 3, and he got 3 on the give there, and that's enough for a first down.
A new fresh set of downs, and again, you look how quick they have moved the football. We're not even 2 minutes into this third quarter, and they are just, you know, about 15 yards outside of red zone here.
Toros defense needs to lock up now as they hand off to Murray this time, who tries to shake and bake and does get away and is going further forward to the 20-yard line. They go from coast to coast, from one 20-yard line to another 20-yard line in less than 2 minutes.
Really incredible. And this right here, take notes, you know, put this on tape and refer to this later on, the football teams out there. This is how you generate a fast, 2-minute offense and really get the ball down the field. They have really made a science out of it, these Baltimore Vultures.
4-3 look out of the Toros defense. And they will go and try and defend a pass over the middle. Chima leaps up and brings it down inside the 10. It makes it 1st and goal.
They did. They put their foot on the gas coming out of the halftime break, and it has, for one, it's kind of stalled the Toros defense here, which has done up to this point a really good job of containing both the air and the ground. Right now, though, they've got them reeling a little bit. They may have them on the ropes, at least on this series here. Got them in 1st and goal. Can they punch it through?
Linebackers again shift to the outside, trying to defend an outside run, and indeed, here goes Murray, outside, looking to stretch the play. It's a huge stiff arm, and there is T-Roy Gaines, ladies and gentlemen. Touchdown, Baltimore!
T-Roy Gaines, he's one of those guys that you know what they're going to do. You even know what they're going to do with him. They're going to kick it to the outside, and he's going to come at you with a stiff arm and a truck stick. And no matter how much you try to prepare for what this guy can do, it's plain physical football, ladies and gentlemen. And he does it better than most halfbacks that you'll see on any football field, not just the SFL field. Really impressive stuff.
Snap spot, extra point is up and good, and they get the first opening drive of the second half, and they go the coast to coast, 80 yards, down for the score on just 7 plays, and it took about 2.5 minutes off of the clock. It's now 20-7. And here comes Charlie Baker on the return. He gets it up to the 31-yard line, tying his best return of the night. Now the Toros backed up again now to another 2-score deficit. They are really going to have to turn it on in this second half if they want to match pace and keep up with the Vultures on their offensive side of the football.
Yeah, agreed, Tyler. One of the things, I guess, the takeaway that is a positive for Fort Worth is that, yeah, Baltimore did score. Thankfully, though, for Fort Worth, that did leave Still a lot of time on the clock in this third quarter. They're not out of it at all, but they need to start striking fast here. Not time to be real methodical.
First plays of drives have really worked out well for the Toros. They go to Bacon, spinning upfield, and this one gaining up 4, maybe 5 yards on the give from Jay-Z.
And as you said, you just want to see some offensive production out of them. They did get that touchdown at the end of the second quarter, but we need to see it on a consistent level. We really haven't seen that yet out of this offense, an offense that has been so hard to stop all year.
Another give to Bacon, and Bacon is upended. After picking up another good chunky yard, that'll make third down a little easier potentially.
It will, and that's important because Baltimore has did a good job of containing Jay-Z Bacon so far in this game. What I have liked, what I've seen Dunhill do in the passing game, though, was very promising. I think that's something they need to really look at. Not abandon the run, but definitely take some more shots through the air.
Bacon on the give, left side, and he will pick up the first down and more as he drags Troy Loshaw along for the ride, and it's first down Toros.
Oh, an absolutely gutsy call right there. A gutsy run, I should say, by Jay-Z Bacon all around the right or left side there, and just a nice job of taking defenders with him. And a really good job, just putting some confidence there in your running back, knowing that he's going to fight for every yard to get that first down. And, this will certainly maybe kind of get things moving in a better direction for Fort Worth.
I formation here from the Toros on their brand new set of downs as the Baltimore defense. The linebackers are heavily favoring the far side of the field, expecting something there, and Bacon gets out of it and looking for more yards. That was good running. Bacon had to do a bunch of the work because he was outnumbered over on that side of the field.
Yeah, he was. It seemed like there was about 10 Vultures to 1 Toro, and still come away with a nice run, a really respectable run there to make the second down more manageable.
They're going to pack 10 players in the box for the Baltimore defense as Bacon gets the call. They go weak side, and that picks up another good chunk of yards. Third and short on its way.
Yeah, definitely committed to this run right here. Obviously, their bread and butter, not wanting to stray too far from it. 3rd and 1, do you go right back to the run or do you try something else here? They got 2 in the backfield split.
Run again, this time at the fullback, Aaron Alexander. Aaron Alexander with a good burst of speed to the 31-yard line.
That's not the first time that we have saw that type of formation. As you remember, in the first quarter on the 4th and 1 conversion, they gave the ball to Alexander in that short yardage situation. Now, that one didn't work for him this time, though. That play was much better executed, and a great job by Aaron Alexander getting out in the open there and a big-time run.
This third quarter is flying by, already halfway home. The handoff left side for Bacon, gets stuck behind his offensive lineman, Emilio Panda. No gain on the call as the Vultures swarm into the backfield.
Fort Worth now finally doing a good job moving down, getting close to that red zone area, close to field goal range. What's important to notice here, though, is just how much time this drive has taken for Fort Worth as opposed to what it took for Baltimore to move the ball. That's something to keep an eye on with time winding down in the third.
8th play of the drive, Dunhill looking middle, caught, first down, inside the 20, it's Hacker again.
Yeah, Hacker has come up big time for these guys multiple times in this game. And let's give a call to Marcus Dunhill, who stood in there knowing pressure was coming around the outside there and stood in there and made a really nice pass, didn't let it, alter his decision-making at all. Hacker on a great route, gets out front, and so far this combination has been what's worked best for Fort Worth today.
And you look at the pass itself. They talk about in zone coverage, you have to find the window in the zone. Dunhill did just that. That's a veteran quarterback for you. As he rolls out, near side, across his body, one-handed snag! Stephen Hacker! Touchdown! Toros! They're back into a 1-score deficit!
What a play. Let me tell you, I've got a lot to say, of course, about Dunhill and the catch by Hacker. I want to start off by saying crucial block by Aaron Alexander in the fullback spot. He caught the blitz coming around the outside, which gave Dunhill enough time to stand in there and make a beautiful pass. And a wonderful job right there of Hacker. Who else, right? And a beautiful one-handed grab. And that allowed a spark, drawing within one score now of Baltimore.
Usually we give just one of these awards, but he had the diving catch earlier. He has the one-handed touchdown. Those are both your nice hands catches of the game, brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it, SFL 4K23, which is now available free to download, and you can play it on the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, an emulator for 4K23, right in the palm of your hand. Order your Retroid today at GoRetroid.com, search SFL, and download our mod at simulationfl.net/4K23. Retroid, the official console of the SFL. Offset eye here for the Baltimore Vultures after the touchdown from Stephen Hacker. They try to go up the gut with T-Roy gains, and he is taken down after a short gain of 3.
Jerry Degon there coming up again to make the stop on T-Roy. And I tell you what, that offensive series, that'll light a fire under any team. And this defense, I have to imagine, they know that it's up to them to stop this Baltimore offense. And I know they're motivated to do so. Let's see what they can do, if they can come up with a big stop here and keep this thing close.
And off T-Roy, right side. He gains another couple yards, 3rd and 3. And this drive turning a little bit more conservative / a little bit more relaxed, as their last drive, 6 of their 7 plays went for 10+ yards. They just need 4 here on 3rd down.
That's exactly right. The scary thing about this team is they can flip a switch just like that, and it could be something we see them do, maybe go to the air here on 3rd and 3.
2 tight ends set. They look to pass. Wigmore, middle, open is Ackerman at the 40-yard line. 1st down for the Vultures.
Yeah, and Vincent again with the stop there. And on 3rd and 3, they are not a team that's afraid to go to the air. Of course, they know what they've got. They're just a great array of weapons to choose from. And on top of that, really a nice job of, again, lulling that defense maybe into thinking that, hey, this is going to be what we choose to go with, go run heavy, and then they go right back to the pass. They're really one of the best at doing that.
Ackerman, the man in motion. 1st and 10. Just inside the 40-yard line. Wigmore has to get rid of it. Finds Mac Chima across the 50 down to about the 47-yard line. Another fresh set of downs coming up for the Vultures.
One of the things that this Baltimore offensive line has done so well, it's been difficult to get to Wigmore. It just has. He's had plenty of time in the pocket all day. Fort Worth really needs to try to get some pressure there on him. They're giving him plenty of time to just pick this defense apart.
Another heavy tight end look. Blitz coming from the Toros, and there's Irvin, who sneaks behind Delaney Nash for the catch. And again, they're marching down the field after a couple of short plays. Last couple have gone for 10+ again.
Yeah, with ease. This team right here, it's so hard to compete with them when they get in this championship mode. We saw them have the difficulties trying to find their footing at the very first of this season. But now that they have, man, they're just great on play call and mixing things up. They never stay predictable, and it is so hard for a defense to try to read and try to prevent here. Right now, you're just hoping you can keep them at bay for a field goal if you can't force a turnover.
Last 6 passes from Wigmore have all gone over 10 yards. Trying to keep the streak alive. It is batted up in the air and incomplete. Luther gone with the sure hands out of the defensive line.
And that's exactly what they need. They need to get that pressure. They need to get their hands in Wigmore's face to try to make it a little more challenging for him. Like we said, he has been able to scan the field with complete ease tonight.
First incompletion for Wigmore in 10 passing attempts. 2nd and 10 now here for Wigmore and the Vulture offense. Minute 14 to go in the third quarter. Pitch play right side, T-Roy Gaines. Haven't seen a run in a while, and they try and get a few yards. They'll say he got about 2 as Sunny Sky brings him down.
This is the most important third down that we have seen of this game right here. This could change the complexion of this game. Really, it could go either way. Baltimore converts here. You know, they're marching towards red zone territory to put more points on the board. But if Fort Worth can stop them, could be a big difference here.
4-man rush, pass right side, picked off, and going the other way, Aiden Davis down the sideline, Wigmore chasing him, can't get him, here comes Matt Chima at the 10-yard line, or is it Warren Murray? It is Murray who pushes him out at the 1-yard line, a massive turnover for the Toros.
Oh, my goodness. I think we both just kind of stood up on our chair there, Tyler. That was an incredible play. We talked about the importance of that third down and how Fort Worth had to make a stop. We've talked about him getting pressure on the quarterback. We've talked about him making turnovers. And finally, what a great job right there by Aiden Davis. Read the route, jumped on it perfect, kind of cut the route is what he did to get in front of it, and then almost took it to the house for 6. If it wasn't for the speedy legs of Murray, he would have made it into the end zone. But ladies and gentlemen, this game has changed dramatically. Do not touch that dial.
So for the Toros, you don't get any better field position than this. 1st and goal, first play of the drive from your opponent's 1. I formation with Bacon behind. They will pass into heavy coverage, and it's nearly taken away. What are they thinking? They have JZ Bacon, the 3rd best runner in the league this season, and they pass.
Yeah, you line it up. Put Alexander there in front, your fullback, and let him clear the way and put Bacon behind him and just try to punch this thing through. Do not get fancy here. This Baltimore defense is good at taking away the football.
I formation again with 3 tight ends. Will they run the ball or try and get fancy? Pitch play left side, Bacon out of a tackle, and he scores! And that's a tie ball game. Our first tie ball game since we began the game. It's 20 apiece in the dying embers of the third quarter.
And this Fort Worth defense, the top-ranked defense in the league, responded when they needed to the most. And then the offense, a great job of punching it in from 1 yard out there. A nice tough run by Bacon. And all of a sudden, this game, it's a new game, folks. Fort Worth potentially taking the lead on this extra point.
Here comes Amelia Rose to tack on the would-be go-ahead extra point. It is up and good. And the Toros take their first lead of the ball game, 21-20, with 31 seconds to go in this semifinal game. For all the league highlights, photo galleries, major and minor league stats and leaderboards, community content, and so much more, check out the league website at simulationfl.net, presented by Football Shift. Stay up to date and explore our past, present, and future. Knee is taken in the back of the end zone. Baltimore will start on their own 20-yard line.
Man, and now if you're Baltimore, you just gave up the big interception. What do you do here? Obviously, you got to imagine that they're going to come out, no fear, guns blazing, but we'll be interested to see if they try to do a little bit more run heavy or be threatening in the passing game here.
Wigmore will try and throw after the interception, and he connects this time with Matt Chima for a first down. Another pass, which results in a 10-plus yard pickup.
And you got to imagine that they may just try to run this clock out of the third and regroup before the next play, or at least get very close to it. Baltimore finds himself in a situation that they haven't been in a while, which is trailing. And I know it's a one-point game, but still there, that really changes the complexion of what you want to do here at times.
Pass middle again, caught by Irvin again at midfield. So now 15 out of the 17 completions from Wigmore have gone for 10-plus yards, and that one gets him to midfield right at the quarter break. Fourth quarter coming your way. 1-point ball game. Don't click out of this webpage. Do not leave YouTube. We're coming back. Chris Curtis will read you our rights.
The Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Welcome back to the Season 21 semifinal game between the Fort Worth Toros and Baltimore Vultures. The Toros, the number 1 seed, taking on Baltimore, the number 4 seed. I'm Tyler Falk, alongside Cameron Duty here in the booth. Hang in there. One more quarter to go in regulation. This one will go down to the last bit. Pass, left side, caught for a pickup of 6 yards.
You know, one thing that I have noticed that's happening for this Fort Worth defense is they are trying to bring more pressure around the outside, and Baltimore, to counteract that, have now went with quick three-step drops, that is, try to keep some pressure at Wigmore's face.
Try and stretch it now near side with T-Roy, and T-Roy sneaks through the offensive line and picks up the first down. Give him about 5 yards on the give.
Nice job right there, again, just extending the play and stretching to get enough for the first down here. And now this is really interesting, too, down to this final quarter. As we said, a 1-point game. A field goal can allow Baltimore to take the lead here, but time ticking, of course, and you know everybody in the room is paying attention.
Blitz coming, heavy blitz coming, and open is Chima behind the defense, and no one will stop him. Touchdown, Baltimore, they retake the lead.
As we've said, it's that experience, it's that cool, calm, collected grace under pressure that this team exhibits. They never feel like they're down. They never feel like they're out. Even when they went down, as we said just a moment ago, trailing for the first time in quite a while, they come right back. They had the interception, but that did not faze them. On this drive, they come back out with a great job, Wigmore. What a great redemption drive, and a nice job for this entire defense, putting them back on top here.
Snap, spot, extra point is up, and it is good. It's back out to a 6-point lead for Baltimore. 27-21, 9:06 to go after the 38-yard reception touchdown from Mac Chima. And we want to remind you that APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. As here comes Charlie Baker, who might be hearing a little bit of APM Music in his helmet as he brings it up to the 32-yard line. If you want to go check out where you can find APM Music, visit apmmusic.com.
And so here we go, Fort Worth now. What are they going to do? How are they going to respond? So far you've got a great rhythm about you these last couple of drives, been able to move the football better than what we saw in that first half. I expect a pretty heavy dose of run pass here. Definitely not going to try to get too one-sided if you're Fort Worth.
Split back look out of the Toros, handoff, Bacon. He gets out of one tackle, that being Alvin Mack. Picks up 4 yards, and then he's brought down.
You know, one of the things that's interesting about it, and one of the keys that we really haven't talked about much, is when you play this Baltimore team, it's important, of course, to get every yard. That's an obvious. But if you can make your second and third downs shorter, it just helps so much. It's important for Fort Worth to stay in short yardage situations here against this defense.
Bacon again. He gets out of one, looking for the first down, and they will give it to Bonnie Bolt. There to greet him at the sticks, but give the Toros a first down.
And a fresh set of downs, and you know Fort Worth is going to be glad to have the amount of time that they do on this clock. They are more methodical. You can take a look at the history of this game and the scoring drive, that it traditionally takes them a little bit longer to move the ball down the field than what it does their counterpart.
Another run here for Bacon, and he is met at the line of scrimmage. He does well enough to churn those legs forward for 2 yards.
Yeah, and again, 2nd and 8 here, you kind of begin to wonder at what point do we see them go back to the pass. They've got such a good thing going right now with Hacker. You don't want to let him cool off. He's on fire right now.
Try again with the give up the middle, and this one will only get him a 2, maybe 3 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 5, and now a test for this Toros offense.
Yeah, and a big play right here, folks. I mean, you don't want to go out so quickly on this drive here and have to turn the ball over and defend on defense once more.
They are 4 of 7 tonight on 3rd down. They were 2 of 2 on 3rd down in the 3rd quarter. Can they keep that nice little streak they have going? Blitz coming. Dunhill has to run, but this time he can't get out of the pocket. And down he goes. 2nd sack of the ball game for Joe Duncan. 3rd for this Baltimore defense.
Yeah, and Joe Duncan, take a look at the pursuit. Dunhill really couldn't find anybody downfield, and as you can see, he was stepping up to take off and run it, but just nobody there. So that's a disappointing drive for Fort Worth, just to have to give it back over to Baltimore and hope your defense can come up with a big stop for you.
Big spiraling punt. Fair catch called for at the 27-yard line. That is hauled in by Ivory Irvin. And now, as you mentioned, that defense for the Toros is going to have to come up with a stand. They're going to have to replicate that red zone fortress that they had in the 1st quarter, and they're going to have to implement it further down the field. They cannot allow Wigmore to pass because he's gotten almost 90% of his passes, maybe a little over 90% of his passes have gone for 10-plus yards. They have to contain everything on this Baltimore defense. T-Roy gains on the give up the middle. He's taken down by J.L. Browning after a 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that Fort Worth's season rides on this defensive stand right here. With time winding down, of course, as we said, Baltimore so methodical, as you said. Wigmore, almost 90% or more of his passes, for long yardage situations. You just can't allow that to happen here.
Offset eye pitch play. T-Roy bulldozes through a man at the 30, looking for more help at the 35, and he's taken out of bounds by Scunny Sky, about a half a yard shy of the marker.
Well, I tell you, that's what makes him so dangerous. You think you've got him right here in the backfield, boom. No, he literally just bulls over defenders, and that's what's so hard about this team to stop. You've got a very aggressive backfield like they do, and then of course all the weapons in the passing game. It's almost overwhelming for a lot of these defenses, but this is the number 1 defense in the league. They can make a stand. Let's see what can happen here.
All right, formation stretch play, left side easy as you like for T-Roy and company as they get close to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it's so hard when Baltimore gets in those 3rd and 1 situations. It's so hard to deny them. And that's one of the things we're talking about Fort Worth needs to be able to do when they are in 2nd and 3rd down, not have to try to make so many yards up.
Passing attempt over the middle, one-handed snag from Ivory Irvin as they cross midfield.
Yeah, and a good job right there by Irvin. And you can tell that this is a seasoned team that has been here so many times before, on the verge of making it to the big dance once more. And they know they can lock it down right here with just a little over 5 minutes left in this game. They know what's at stake, and more importantly, they know how to execute.
5th play of the drive here for Baltimore, and they will go back to the air. Wigmore under pressure. Down he goes! The defensive ends of Jerry Degon and Jeff Duffy combine to bring down Wigmore in the backfield.
And they just converged on him, coming around both of the outside edges. And take a look at that, a sack burger for sure. And at the most important time, pushes them back to 2nd and 17. Now, don't let up. Don't take your foot off the gas if you're the Fort Worth defense. We have saw this team come back from these 2nd and long deficits, sometimes almost too easy.
2nd and 17. And they come out with 3 wide receivers. Chima goes from right to left behind Wigmore, and Wigmore goes back to pass. Pass near the sticks, and just like that, it's 18 yards on the reception for Daley Holder.
Yeah, this team does not get conservative when they have a setback. If anything, it's almost like you're daring them to try to go back down the field again. And again, that That's something they're better at doing that than really anybody. And the important thing, Tyler, look at the clock continuing to move. 4 minutes of hopes and dreams on both of these football teams, literally riding on the final 4 minutes of this game.
And Wigmore again now over the 300 passing yard mark in the ball game as Murray goes left side, nothing doing. Rounding there on the stop. They're going to need 2 more of those to try and push them out of field goal range.
You literally cannot allow them to gain another inch on you if you're the Fort Worth defense. They're right there teetering on field goal range at the moment as it is. And with this short amount of time left on the clock, it would be devastating if they come away with any point.
Pitch play left side. Murray can't get back to the line of scrimmage, but they will give him forward progress to do so. No gain. 3rd down on its way.
Yeah, and a really good job right there. Good pursuit by Fort Worth. Like we said, they know what's at stake. They know what's coming. They knew the run was going to take place. They stopped it right at the line, and a huge 3rd down here, Tyler.
4 wide here for Wigmore. 3:20 to go in regulation. Wigmore looks to throw left side. It is caught on the run. Makchima inside the 5, and he's in! Touchdown! Vultures! They're now up by 2 scores with just over 3 to play.
It's almost coffin nails when you take a look at just how this team has played. And really, what's one thing that we have seen very little of in this game, Tyler? That's incompletions. Yeah, we had the interception, and there have been a few incompletions, but Wigmore has been solid, and his receivers have been able to haul in anything he has thrown to them, and a good job right there again. And I tell you what, if you can't force those deflections, if you can't force those turnovers, it's so hard to beat this team, and they're showing why right now.
So Baltimore kicks the extra point. They go up by 13. 3 minutes, 10 seconds to go. They are looking to put a crooked number in the loss column of Fort Worth for only the first time this season, and Baltimore looking to do it again to another number 1 seed. Is Fort Worth the 3rd victim of Baltimore's reign of terror in semifinal games against number 1 seeds? 1st and 10 upcoming from the 20-yard line. The Toros have their work cut out for them.
It's hard to ask this team to get 2 scores in 3 minutes time when literally it's taken 3 minutes for them to really advance on any scoring drive in this game. But they're going to have to. They're going to have to take it to the air, try to get that ball in Hacker's hands, in my opinion.
Dunhill, middle, tipped it incomplete. There's Giovanni Bolts playing center field, as he so often likes to do.
Oh, man. And as you can see right there, turning up the pressure as well, coming around the edges, not really giving Dunhill a lot of time to set his feet and make accurate throws.
Split backfield, 2nd and 10 now here for Dunhill. Blitz coming from the outside. Dunhill, middle, one-handed. Caught by Hacker. He just couldn't hold it in.
And a big-time 3rd down here on this for this game, for this season for Fort Worth, Tyler. We know what's at stake here. Obviously, you're in 4-down territory. You have to be down 2 scores, but, man, they need to convert here.
They go empty backfield. 3rd and 10 from their own 20-yard line. They have to make something of the next couple of plays, if not this play. Dunhill, right side, overshoots Charlie Baker, and it brings up 4th and 10.
And the season comes down to this, Tyler. What more can we say? They have to convert here, and again, they're in that long yardage situation where they've got to get 10 yards or more. It all comes down to this.
For the season, for a chance to play in the championship game in Cincinnati to keep their season hopes alive. 3-man rush. Dunhill, near side, incomplete, looking for J.C. Bacon, the halfback. The ball falls to the turf. and the Vultures take over at the Toros 20.
Yeah, they sure do. And take a look at the deflection right here. I mean, it all comes down to that, getting up there by Elijah Warfield and swatting that one away. He knew what the weight of that reception was carrying. And now with Baltimore in the driver's seat with 2 minutes and 57 seconds left to go, it's going to be very hard to see anything other than a Baltimore win come out of this stadium tonight.
Fort Worth is going to need a miracle on defense. Any points could spell the end of their perfect season, let alone a chance to go to the championship. Handoff, Murray, middle, gaining 3, and the Vultures will try and milk as much clock as possible. And we want to remind you, this is the semifinal game. The championship game comes up on Saturday. Join Cam and Irvine and yours truly Saturday night for the 21st SFL Championship game presented by Zolnir on SFL YouTube. The game will feature the first neutral site stadium in league history, the Florida Storm, and the winner of this game. This and so much more coming up this week around the SFL. I formation, they go to the fullback, T-Roy, who tries to barrel forward up to about this 14-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 4. So we hit the 2-minute warning from the Stockyards here in Fort Worth, Texas. Do the Toros have anything to pull out of the hat? Can they pull out a miracle? Or the Vultures go to their 6th championship game in 7 seasons? This is the SFL. Eight men in the box to try and counter an I formation. Wigmore hands off to T-Roy, trying to go through the middle, and he gets the first down. And here comes the timeout train for the Toros, but it might be too little, too late.
Yeah, now they're going to start burning those timeouts, of course. And with this Baltimore running game, the way they've been able to churn yardage all evening long, it's going to be tough to stop. And if they can, there's not going to be a lot of time left on the clock. And on top of that, Baltimore is clearly here in scoring position.
Pitch play near side. Here for Murray. Murray out of a tackle. Forward. Stop just shy of the end zone. They're not done putting points up on the board.
No, they, as we've heard, and it's been mentioned, this team never quits. They never sleep. And as long as they've got the football, you know, it is their goal to put points on the board. And there's no better way to secure a victory than to continue scoring. There's no team better at that than Baltimore either.
I formation versus goal line defense. Handoff. Warhorse. Got it. Touchdown. The final nail in the coffin comes from Warren Murray.
It's just been the perfect game for Baltimore, you know, barring that interception return. Other than that, it has been just a almost flawless game. They've come out with a great defensive plan to keep Fort Worth at bay, and then this offense just continuing to dominate. And we do have a challenge. I wondered if we would hear that. Of course, it comes from the booth under 2 minutes here.
And so we will once more take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. One final replay potentially, and what a hit. What a massive hit there by Sunny Sky. Let's get the call. And it is overturned, so it'll be 3rd and goal from about the half-yard line. I wonder now, because it was a booth timeout, whether or not the clock will stop, and indeed it does. Counted a free timeout for the Toros.
Yeah, definitely, and you know they live to play another down. It's going to be tough to stop this team right here on the cusp of that goal line, but they have a chance of keeping it as a 2-score game here.
They've done it before early in the ball game. They need to dig deep and come up with a stop here and now. Handoff, Murray, this time, no problem. There's the touchdown.
And a great job by that offensive line, just clearing lanes for Warren Murray. And again, sealing the deal right there. Fort Worth certainly, played their heart out, trying to just keep in this game. The Baltimore offense just too overwhelming right now for what Fort Worth was trying to do. And Baltimore just about to secure another championship appearance here.
To go up by 20. Here is Tarkington. Extra point is up and good, but partner, the scoreline does not reflect how close this game was from start to nearly finish.
No, it really doesn't. I mean, as you said, they got those late touchdowns here in the game to make it look as if it was really never in reach. But, it was just the start of that fourth quarter that we were talking about Fort Worth leading this game 21-20. And the offensive explosion that Baltimore has really came out with since, it's really impressive. And like we said, this team does not quit, nor do they get rattled.
Charlie Baker with the kneel down in the end zone. And so maybe for the final time here in season 21, the offense for the Toros will come out in front of their home crowd once more to try and leave a few lasting smiles, a few bittersweet smiles on their fans' faces as they will potentially exit season 21. Nice one-handed snag by Stephen Hacker. He has been the story of the game for the Fort Worth offense, making these unimaginable catches possible.
Absolutely. It is something that they've certainly not went down without a fight, and what a year to be proud of, honestly. I mean, if you are Fort Worth, you may come up one game short of that championship bid, but 12-0 coming in, such bright talent, and expecting them to be around for a long time like this.
Another one-handed snag for Hacker at the 45-yard line, and they will hustle back to the line. No timeouts to go. Minute 30 left on the game clock. Blitz coming from the strong side. It's Hacker again, turning and finding the ball thrown by Dunhill, and back to the line they go. And again, Baltimore giving cushion to Hacker on top of your picture. Again they go, and this time it's deflected as Hacker runs more of an angled route.
Yeah, and again, you got to give credit to Fort Worth continuing to come out here to play. They never quit. That's the honest truth, and they still haven't. They want to play all the way to double zeros there on the clock, and that's all you can ask for of your football team. And like we said, this great state of Texas, they got a lot to be proud of for sure.
Only 3 down linemen here for Baltimore, and they only send those 3. Pass near side and nearly taken away by Marvin Himes, and that would have been it.
Yeah, and third down here, as you said, they're on a four down series here, obviously, just to try to punch it in and try to make this deficit a little bit smaller.
3rd and 10 here for the Toros from the Baltimore 33. Blitz coming. Dunhill looking middle. Caught. There's the Cowboy. His first catch of the ball game comes with just over a minute to go in the final quarter. Dunhill again looking middle, and this time, unfortunately, it's a familiar sight. He overshoots his intended target.
Baltimore has done such a good job in this game of taking away a lot of the weapons that Marcus Dunhill has. Obviously, nobody more than J.Z. Bacon, who has been really limited in this game. Of course, you had Stevens come up with some good plays as well, but, it's been hard for them to distribute the football like we're used to seeing them do. 2nd and
10. Dunhill, right side. Hacker is there inside the 2-yard line. 1st and goal now. 50 seconds to go and counting. And Dunhill will just wisely spike it with 46 ticks on the clock to go.
Dunhill really hasn't had a bad game at all. It's just that really they've really locked down, like we said, a lot of his targets, and it's been difficult to come back from. He's had to force the ball a couple of times, having to play from behind, and that certainly changes your approach when you're a quarterback.
Empty backfield on 2nd and goal. I know you're behind big, but throwing it in this situation sometimes results in a negative outcome Other times it results in glory. Dunhill, under pressure, down he goes. Back at the 11-yard line, Frank Smith takes him down. And back to the line they go, 34 seconds to go. Dunhill spikes it with 33 seconds to go, 4th and goal. And now, it's now time for a 4th down play, final 4th down play for the Toros, at least on this drive.
Yeah, probably a last gasp effort here for Fort Worth to end their season. One more offensive series here, one more snap.
.33 seconds to go. Trips to Dunhill's right from the 9-yard line. Dunhill, middle, picked off. Frank Smith, that's your ball game. Baltimore is headed back to the SFL championship game. It'll be a battle of dynasties, old and continuing. The first three-peat champion Florida Storm will take on the current 5-time, all-time champion Baltimore Vultures in the Season 21 SFL Championship game in Cincinnati, Ohio, this Saturday night.
And it will be such a celebration. This entire week will be a celebration, Tyler, for just this incredible SFL season and the championship game that is, accumulating in. It's going to be exciting. It really is. Probably going to come right down to the wire like we have watched in tonight's game. It was such a heavyweight fight for so long. Congratulations to Baltimore punching that ticket again, Tyler. Wow, what a setup we've got for next week.
So it's destiny dashed, dynasty dominant. Baltimore wins 41-21. A massive congratulations to the Baltimore Vultures as they go to their next championship game. And for the Toros, the best team all season long, unfortunately, it all ends tonight with their first loss in Season 21 against the Baltimore Vultures. Cameron Duty, what a game. It truly lived up to the billing. Yes, it's a 20-point deficit between these two teams, but it certainly didn't feel like it, even though Baltimore controlled the last quarter. 21 points alone in the fourth quarter and shut out Fort Worth.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Tyler. It was a wonderful game. It really was, and a great job by this Baltimore team here. 480 plus yards total offense. Hard to stop. This defense was just, Fort Worth was really just kind of decimated, and it made a difference in the game. If I'm going to say it, my player of the game, though, Wigmore. My goodness, talk about consistency. 348 yards, 22 of 27, and 2 touchdowns, 128 quarterback rating. That's my player of the game. Tyler, this has been a pleasure. Cannot wait for the championship game next week, my friend.
Thank you, Cameron Duty. Thank you, Ron Haynes, Rochelle Colstead, Gage and Stats. Thank you, Cameron Irvine in studio. Jack Wigmore is the player of the game. It was a rematch of Week 1 from the convention in Cincinnati. We're going back there Saturday. See you then. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.